Hello, my name is Sharon, and this is my first video for my No One's Perfect channel. I am going to be doing several videos, some by myself, and I also have a partner that I will introduce you to later, and we're going to be sharing topics regarding any and everything, and from everyday information to biblical to our very own opinions. We are asking that you please just have a good sense of humor because, as we say, no one is perfect. We're all on a journey of learning, and we're doing that journey together. Earlier this morning, as I was preparing for my day, I was having a conversation with my husband, and he used the phrase safety net. And he was saying that, we all need to have a little safety net. And I thought about those words after he left for work. Safety net. What does that mean? Safety net for who? How do I see safety net? Well, I thought about my life from my teenage years of 18 to the present. And I felt always that my safety net was my mother. Love my mom, could always go to her, ask her for her opinions, to please share with me, someone to nudge you and tell you, hey, what should I do, when you know what you really should do, but you need confirmation. We always say we need confirmation for things. Hey, God, could you give me some confirmation about something? Well, my mother was my first safety net. Of course, I always have a real safety net. I'll get to that at the end. When my mother passed, I was bereft. Who could I go to? Who could I talk to? Who will help lead me, guide me, give me the advice that I need? Tell me when I'm really wrong. Who will God put in that place, that empty space for me? And that person turned out to be one of my five sisters, and she was awesome. She did not mince her words. She shared everything that I needed to know when I needed to know it, even when I didn't ask for the advice. But it was the advice that was given basically out of love and concern for me. She never steered me wrong. She gave me the Bible that I could understand to read, that really opened up doors and changed and turned my life around. So what's a safety net? I looked it up and I Googled and found out that a safety net is a system of programs or policies that help people and families manage risks, access economic opportunities, and protect themselves from poverty and inequality. Well, my safety net definition supports, protects, and stability to others during challenging times. That's when I turn and look for a safety net. And although we have a Father who's always there to catch us when we're fall, He's not the person who we always turn to when we need Him. We don't trust in our Father's plan. Um, Jeremiah 29. We should follow in the plan, but we don't. We don't allow ourselves to say, hey, let thy will be done. Because why? A lot of us don't want to let go of control. We want to be in control. We want to know everything. We want to have the answer to everything. But what we need to do is believe in God and believe that God is exactly who He says He is. Morning to morning, noonday, every day, 365, 7 days. He's the same. And He has more planned for us and has more in store for us than we could ever possibly imagine if we believe in Him. So, what are some great examples of people who experience having a safety net? The story of Ruth and Naomi. What was it about those two? They clung to one another after Naomi had lost her husband and her two sons. She told her daughter-in-laws, go ahead and return home, but Ruth clung to her. She and Ruth returned back to Naomi's old home, and she was there, and Ruth stayed with her, helping her. Um, she became, Ruth became Naomi's safety net. What did she do? Well, she provided emotional support for her. She provided companionship for her. And she was her emotional stability. She also provided practical support for her by working and gleaning in the fields in order to provide food for them. And she was also a help in restoration of hope. We all need hope. We all need to have something to have hope for. And she was her social security. Yes, they had social security back then, even during that time. And you didn't have to worry about paying into that kind of social security. Naomi was able to recover her losses after Ruth married Obed Boaz, and they had the child, and she became a grandmother, and Ruth provided that stability during a vulnerable time in Naomi's life. Yes, Ruth married Obed. Yes, I wanted to make sure I got that clear. So who else do you see as examples of safety nets in the Bible? Why don't you look up and read about Joseph and his brothers? Who provided the safety nets for them? And what about Barnabas and Paul? That's another story that you can check up. So who are you providing a safety net for? Or ask yourself, who has been a safety net for you more importantly? And how did you show your appreciation for that person when they were there for you when you really needed someone there? Today, Jesus continues to be my safety net, and he's always been our safety net. Even when we didn't know, his prevenient grace was there for each and every one of us, covering us. And it is still covering us even after we know who he is. And that is why we want to move. We'll never be perfect, but we want to move towards perfection. That means we don't want to always commit and do the same old things over and over again. But we want to learn and glean from those mistakes and try to do better in our lives. So, think about your safety nets. Are your safety nets full of holes? Or do you have a safety net that's based and wrapped up in Christ, who will never let you sink, never let you fall or falter, but will always be there for you?